So to go back to the landing, you were, and I mentioned before, you were in one of the chase cars with Steven Spielberg while shooting Bridge of Spies. What was that like?
Yes. Steven Spielberg is an amazing, brilliant person. Like you could just, it was interesting in the 2 days that he was there to do these final shoots,
Hmm.
to see him in action and to see how down to earth he was with people, but then to see him behind the camera when they did a shot. And I remember at one point we got a shot of just the wheels moving along the runway. And he was staring at it. And he was staring at it maybe a little too long. And I was like, "What are you?" Like in my mind, I'm like, What are you doing?" And I came up behind him and I was like, "I said, sir, I said, you're looking at the shot for a long time. Why? What's the why behind this?" And he basically said, in the theaters, people will get that sensation of the ground rush as the wheels are going down the runway, so they could get that sensation that they too are in the
Hmm.
aircraft. And I just didn't say it. I looked at him like, "Oh,
Yeah, that's that level of
wow."
precision that makes him brilliant.
Yeah, so I mean, he's brilliant in his craft. He's done things. He's set the mold for a lot of stuff. But it was I don't know. It was just special for me to get a little peek behind the man and why he makes his decisions, to know his why. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he loves military folks, so he was just very open and very
Hmm.
approachable. And it was interesting because at the end of the shoot, it was at the end of December, so it was his birthday. And so we decided to get him a military sheet cake, like just a plain old cake that you get from the commissary, and he loved it. Like he enjoyed it, and it was just like it was really awesome. So he kind of hung out, and it was
Nice.
cool.
And didn't you at some point ask him? I thought that was quite funny. Tell him not to get out of the car. What was that about?
I did, I did. It was one of my most awkward moments in life. Right. So we were doing the shoot, and I was in the car as a safety advisor because there was another mobile. We had briefed this pretty thoroughly because I was given the wing commander trusted me very much, and I really appreciate that. So we were doing a lot of things that were non-standard, but within
Mhm.
rules, within AFI. But part of it, Spielberg wanted to be on the runway, so I was in another car. And as we were going out to take off, because it was actually a gentleman who was doing a training flight, the mobile, something was wrong with his camera. And he said, "Merrill, can you mobile the aircraft?" And I said, "Okay, no problem." So the aircraft took off. And once Spielberg saw it, he's like, "Okay, I'm ready to go to the next shot because it's ready." And I'm like, as a mobile, I
Okay.
can't leave the aircraft in the
Right.
pattern. And I said, "Sir, I can't do it." And he's like, "Well, I'll just get up and walk." And um, I said, "So you can't just walk across the runway like that? Security come and jack you." And I'm like, "Sir, you can't get out. It's only going to be 90 seconds till he
Hmm.
lands." And it was silence in the car. So it was me, him, Spielberg, and then the main actor. I forgot his name, Austin. I forgot his last name. And so I'm sitting there like this,
Yeah, he
just
probably
like,
doesn't hear that very often.
"No." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, I was like so awkward. I was like, Spielberg hates me now. So the aircraft's coming around. I'm like, "Sir, it'll be done soon." And then my friend comes out because he is the mobile. He's coming back. He's like, "Merrill, I got it." And I'm like, "Great." And he's like, "To the chase." And I'm like, "No," because when you say to the chase, now both cars have to go down the
And this is
runway.
with 140 miles per hour,
We
right?
did, yeah. We did. We probably did. I'll say probably about 110.
Okay.
So the aircraft comes
Mm.
down. The mobile's chasing. I'm chasing behind the mobile, but I'm really, really tight. I mean, we're tight because we're getting
Right.
shots. For the military, was still safe and really tight. So Spielberg takes out his camera and he's just filming. He's not saying anything. In my mind, I'm like, this guy still hates me. And when we're done, we get off the runway and he goes, "That was awesome." Like he was like a little kid. He was like, "Oh man, Meryl, I'm so glad you had me in the car. This was great. I'm gonna do this." He's like, "I'm gonna send this to Michael Bay." And I'm like, it went from awkward,
Too great.
to cool in like 2
Nice.
seconds.